Good morning, all. Fantastic to see you all today. As was mentioned, Champa was going to be doing this speech this morning, this presentation. She can't be here because she's ill. So just imagine when I'm doing this, it's 10 times better than you're going to hear today. And it'll be exactly what was envisaged. I'm the GM for hospitality operations, so I look after all the sort of back-of-house products. I've met some of you in the room, and I'm looking forward to taking you through our Access Evo Day today. So I thought we'd try and kick off with giving you a little bit of an overview of what's going to be coming with a little video to get you excited about what you're going to see today. Oh! So a little taster of what's going to be coming. So we've got a really exciting agenda that we're going to be taking you through. We're going to be, do you want to do the quick housekeeping items? We're going to do this? We're going to cover this off, or do you want me to do it? I'm going to cover this off. All right, so if there isn't anything planned on any kind of fire alarms going off today, so if anything like that does happen, so the fire exit over there, head out the building. Hopefully it won't be raining, but it's not planned, so we should hopefully have an undisturbed morning as we go forward. You're going to hear a lot of interesting conversations from hospitality leaders, how people are using AI to actually transform their journey with their operational teams, with their customers, with the experiences that they're trying to deliver. And you're going to get a lot of actionable insights on how Access Evo can really make a difference to the way that you run your businesses. You're going to see that as we go through this agenda, you'll have heard AI being mentioned by probably every single provider, every single supplier, every single piece of technology that you've ever utilized and ever talked about. And in many cases, it's not actually something that's going to help you drive the business. It's ticking the box. It's maybe you can do a bit of chat, right? What we're trying to bring you today is a bit more of a vision about how AI can really actually enable you to deliver better quality service to your customers, and that's what we'll be taking you through. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of what to expect as we go through this. Now, a little bit of a view of the market at the moment, right? As everybody knows, the hospitality market in Ireland is facing multiple challenges at this point in time. Right? We've seen that the minimum wage has jumped up 12.5% from $11.30 back in 2023, now up to $13.50 for 2025. Right? And that's obviously creating a really significant impact for hotels, for restaurants, where 40% of turnover is put into those wage bills. And we're seeing the launch of the pension auto-enrollment, right, with the My Future Fund that started on the 30th of September. So if you've got an operation where you've got employees today which don't have those pensions in place, it's another cost increase that we're trying to see. Those employer contributions at 1.5% initially going to ramp up to 6% by year 10, right? It's a pretty significant impact on the costs that have to be managed. And we're seeing that the restaurant sector itself is also under pressure. If we look at just Q1 of this year, we saw there's 150 restaurant closures in the country. And we're seeing that run rate continue. About 50 or 60 every month are going down. Right? And those that are surviving in this business, 2/3 of those have also seen that there's been a decline in performance when we looked to recent prior years. If we look at Dublin, where we are today, then we're also seeing that in the hotel sector, we've seen that the average daily rates have gone down about 3% when we compared from 2024 to 2023. And we've also seen a significant increase in the amount of rooms available in the marketplace of about 7,000 increased capacity in the country. 5,000 of that is here in Dublin. Right? So there are definitely challenges that we are facing. Right? So as we're looking about how do we respond to that as in the business, as an industry, most of the operators that we talk to, not looking to try and cut staff out of the picture. Clearly, if we take staff out, we're reducing customer service. It can lead to a spiraling down return. So one of the most obvious places that people are looking to as a place that we can perhaps influence the costs that we spend is, of course, technology. And most of the providers that we're talking to are looking for ways in which they can either reduce their technology spend or get more out of it for the current budgets that they have. And that's something that we're going to be looking at and spending some time on talking through today. So quick little experiment, and I promise I will only do this once. I'm going to ask you to all stand up for me, if you could. If you're a hotel hospitality operator in the room, please stand up. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to sit down when it applies to you. So I'm asking you, how many different technology providers do you use to run your business today? If you just have one when you run absolutely everything off, feel free to sit down now. I don't think I've got anyone yet. So 2 systems, 3 or 4? Got a few people starting to sit down. 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're going down. All right, 8, 10. Okay, I think we've probably got everybody seated now. Does anyone in the room want to put the hand up, admit to the fact you've actually got no idea how many systems that you've got? Okay, so what we've seen from the research that we've been doing, and you're going to see a lot more data from CGA shortly, is that when we looked at the survey results for Ireland, about 1/3 of our operators basically said that they were running their business off 2 to 4 systems. We saw nearly 30% were running around 5 to 7, and about 1/4 were running around 8 to 10 different systems to run their business. Right? Now, there's obviously some natural challenges that come with that, but one of the really, really interesting data points is that about 2/3 of operators basically said that they were spending around 1 to 3 hours switching between those different systems every single day. Like 1 to 3 hours every single day. Around 20% of those, or nearly 20%, we're talking about 2 to 3 hours of lost time productivity just switching between these systems. And the analysis that people are coming back with, the general view is that in this marketplace, operators are losing up to 15% of OPEX because of all this disconnected stuff. There's a real lack of trust in the data. There's a real challenge around navigating all these systems and getting the best out of them. And when we look at that, when we look at things like forecasting, inventory control, staff scheduling, these tend to be the biggest operational headaches that people are seeing today. So we as a team wanted to try and create, at Access, a North Star, right? Something that we really want to aim for. And we're very fortunate in the business in hospitality in that about 80% of our team have actually come from the hospitality industry. They've worked in hospitality, they have a passion from it, whether they've been chefs or managers or run particular sites. And so when people are thinking about what can we do for the future, we're thinking about it from the capacity of having actually worked in those businesses, knowing what those pain points are. And what we wanted to do is create a technology that really, really resonates with operators who take pride in giving those great, great customer experiences. So when we think about technology, what we're trying to do is get into this environment where the technology itself is as invisible as we can make it. Right? What we don't want, I don't think anybody in this room wants to have people stuck with their faces in screens, navigating through systems, trying to do things. We want to be in front of the customers and engaging with them. So technology needs to make things simpler. It needs to reduce the time that people are spent in front of those screens, but also try and take as much of the load off you in as intelligent a way as possible so that you can focus on delivering those great experiences. And that's what we're trying to build for you. That's our thinking in terms of how we actually operate in Access. So we have a very comprehensive range of solutions, and I'll talk through a little bit more detail shortly. But we look at everything from running the actual operational elements of the business, those are the back-end processes, how we can automate those, how we can streamline them. We look at the whole elements of food and beverage experience, how we can actually deliver fantastic customer experience when they're ordering, when they're actually visiting the institutions, all the way through to how we manage the food procurement, how we schedule our staff, all those aspects around that. We work with our customers and how we help them to maximize their revenue across all the various channels that you will operate across. And of course, we focus very strongly on guest engagement. And that's what we call our hospitality ecosystem. Historically, that's been a large range of 20 or so relatively disconnected products, all doing their very specific things very, very well. But what we're now trying to move into a world is we start bringing those together. And it's a complicated environment when you look at how this actually operates. This is kind of a list of almost every single product that we have. And in theory, you could run every aspect of your business on all these different products. And some of you will have one or two or three of these. Some of you might have multiple. We have got our team outside running the screens who can demo you and show you some of these things and how they work, especially where you may have challenges today you are looking for areas where you can improve the way they operate. But this is a complicated map, and you can imagine that for most people who are coming into your businesses and are trying to focus on staff experiences, they haven't come from IT backgrounds, they're not computer experts, they're certainly not programs. Most of the time, they've got barely enough time to do the training to look after your customers, let alone learn how to do all these different IT systems. And you'd be constantly flicking between one platform to another. It's a huge thing to expect people to know how to do it and also how to get the best out of these applications when they're just put in front of them for the first time. So what we are now trying to do is bring them all together with a standard way of uniting them into a platform-type environment. And this is what Access Evo is all about. Access Evo is what we term for AI and an AI-powered platform, and it sits at the heart of everything that we do. When most organizations, most providers, technology suppliers talk about utilizing AI, it's about putting a bit of AI in the product to do some nice little things, which may or may not deliver value, but kind of, as I said, ticks the AI box. What we've tried to do here at Access is put AI at the heart of a design system for every product. So AI, for us, is embedded as an entire platform. And the idea behind this is that, yes, of course, you'll have AI capabilities in an individual product. But as you go into suites of products and roll out 5 or 6 or 7 products, the AI that we're bringing is done in a consistent way, so you have a single coherent set of data, a single way of accessing all these applications, a shared sort of user experience across them. And so the AI then starts delivering you value between those products and linking those products together. So when you have information or dashboard or reporting or data you want to get access to, you see that consistently across everything. And we recognize, of course, that you are going to operate in a market where you will have third-party systems. So it's an open ecosystem. We want to bring in third-party products that you might have, leverage that data, be able to surface it so it makes sense to you. We run Copilot across all of these. Copilot's a little bit like a ChatGPT or other systems that might be out there, but it is designed for your business. It's trained on hospitality data. It will give you product-specific and capability-specific answers, and your data is specific to you. It's not like ChatGPT, where everything you put into it is open to the world and is what the system is used for training. This is private to you, so it's secure, and you can really use it to run your business in a very secure and known way. We also provide you with the capability to have what we call feeds or notifications, the things that you need to think about. What is the next most important action that you have to do? guiding people through the activities and the things that they need to do on a daily basis. It's all designed to work in mobile environments, so whether people have to work this off a phone or an iPad or a desktop back home, it will work in those different environments. And as I said, when you think about the way it works together, it's done in a consistent way. So as you are moving from one product to another, you don't have to re-log in. The user experience will look very similar, and it will feel like it's just a connected environment. And that's really what we're trying to make happen with the technology. So when we start thinking about this, let me just click onto this for one more second. So as we start thinking about how do we actually drive the real value from this, it's about doing things that are genuinely intelligent. So when you start thinking about how do I schedule my people, how can we actually help you predict the amount of demand that you will have coming into the business, and therefore how many people you will need to service and schedule that demand, who are the right people to put at the right places and time. If you have a challenge with one of your coffee machines in one of your restaurants or coffee bars, what does the staff member do in that scenario? Can they actually fix the machine themselves, not by getting out any technical manuals or screwdrivers, but there's simple little checks they can run to make sure it is actually working as intended. If it's not, who should I call out? What's the best person? What's the best third-party contractor to come out? Who's recommended to me by the system? What time period should I make it happen in? How do I even log that support request? How do I do all those steps? It's having that in your pocket, on your phones. You can do that in action in real time. If you're thinking about food ordering, you've got a massive party coming in and 20 people all want to buy those mozzarella sticks. Why shouldn't your procurement system know that's going to be happening and help you pre-plan that ordering so everything is in stock, but you're not overbooking in that time frame? So it's really trying to utilize AI in a really intelligent way that will guide you through those day-to-day processes, help you deal with things that are happening in the flow of work, and take as much time out of the systems so you can put that back in front of your customers coming through the door. So that's what Evo is all about. We're going to take you through a lot more detail about the different types of things that we're delivering. You'll get to see a lot more of this outside with our team. We'll very happily show you these things. We're really, really excited about what's happening here because we honestly think it's a massive, massive change in the power that we can bring to the technology to really, really help deliver better quality outcomes. So I will leave you with those parting thoughts. Enjoy the day. Please engage with people. Enjoy the networking opportunities. And love to catch up with you somewhat time as we go through the breaks and networking opportunities. Thank you very much.